Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Elusiive, back again with another video, and in this video, we're finally going to be showing my settings. I actually don't think I ever did a settings video on Modern Warfare 3. If I recall, I actually don't think I did one at all. I usually do one at the start of the game, but I'm not too sure. But if you guys are looking for like the best accuracy, the best recoil control, and the best speeds when it comes to your sensitivity, then this is definitely the video for you. So if you guys enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like and sub if you're new. But not that's over, let's get into these insane MW3 settings. Alright guys, for the button layout, I'm running tactical. Honestly, tactical is just the best overall because it allows you to keep your finger on the analog when you slide. Because now your analog is your slide and your aiming stick. So you have 2 in 1 practically. And it's just the best thing to do so you don't have to take your fingers off your analog and hit B or whatever button you use to slide with. Sliding is just way more effective than jumping, but this is more personal preference. If you guys want to go stick and move or whatever, you do you, but tactical is the best. Controller vibrations, turn this off. It affects your accuracy because your controller's vibrating and your finger will move, and it could throw off your sight. And it also kills your battery faster in your controller, so why not just turn it off? Input dead zones. This is what I'm running. For my left stick, I'm running 10, and for my right stick, I'm running 0. I actually just recently changed it to 0. Before I was running 5, but I realized since I do like micro movements on my analog to where like I slightly move the analog, it's easier to get picked up with no dead zones. But if you guys have like stick drift, you're probably not going to have this on 0, or go as low as you can before the stick drift kicks in, or you can have slight stick drift because it will still have like rotational pull to it. But honestly, I like 0 because I do micro movements. So when I mean micro movements, I mean like slight movement in the analog. And if you guys didn't know, I use an Elite controller with 3 paddles on the back. 1 paddle's for jump, 1 paddle's for slide, and the other one is for swapping weapons. So I have 2 buttons practically for slide, my analog and my paddle. But honestly, the reason I run 0 is because the micro movement allows me to remain a lot more accurate to the point where it's like I have a Coronis, brother. I'm talking a straight laser. Slight movement down, since you guys don't know the recoil control, say if a gun's vertical, you have to slightly pull down on the analog so it has no recoil at all. But since I have micro movement, I could slightly pull down on the analog, and I mean slightly, to where it's damn near still in the same spot, and my gun won't pull up due to me countering its vertical. So it allows me to have less pressure on the analog pulling down, and it just keeps my sight accurate, honestly. But just go with the lowest you can before stick drift, or you can have a little bit of stick drift. It's all up to you. I run left and right trigger at 5 because it goes off of how much pressure you have to put on the analog before your character starts to shoot. You can go lower, but I feel like sometimes I'd accidentally tap the trigger and it'd make me shoot, so that's why I didn't like 0. But if you guys like 0, go for it. For the horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity, I run 6 and 6. Honestly, I used to run 5 and 5, and I also ran 7 and 6. But honestly, this is more personal preference. You guys can test out whatever you'd like. Use this more as a default if you feel like it's too fast, and lower it if you feel like it's too slow, then higher it. But when you go off of this, you want to go off of your hip speed, not your ADS speed. Your hip speed is what you really want to focus on for the vertical and horizontal sensitivity, because you can always adjust your ADS speed, and that's why I usually go off of my hip speed for my vertical and horizontal speed. But you don't want to go too fast on your hip speed to the point where you're flying past your enemies before you even aim in. I didn't touch any of this. For my aim response curve type, I run dynamic. This also makes it to where my slight movement in my analog is picked up on the controller, and dynamic and 0 dead zones for me is just crazy, bruh. Dynamic goes off of slight movement your character moves. If you're on standard, it doesn't pick up the micro movements. It's more for bigger movements. So in other words, if you're trying to rely more on target assist rather than your accuracy itself. But since I rely on my accuracy and the target assist, I run dynamic because micro movements are picked up, and since my dead zones are even lower, it's picking up my micro movements. Because dynamic also goes off your dead zones. If your dead zones are high as hell, it's how much you have to move your analog before the game picks up that you're moving the analog. So that's why I usually have low dead zones, so slight movement in my analog lets the game know that it's picking up my movement, and then the dynamic is going off my slight movement practically. It's just making it to more and more reliant on my accuracy and controlling my analog. Alright, I didn't touch any of this. Custom per zooms, I run 0.7. This actually will change. Before, when I was running 7.6 or I was running 8.6, so in other words horizontal 8, vertical 6 or whatever. Just depending on your sensitivity. The higher the sensitivity, I usually lower the ADS. The lower the sensitivity, I usually higher the ADS. So I just go with the opposite. If I have a high sensitivity, I go low ADS because I want my gun to be accurate and slow and not just zooming past my opponents. So that's why I run 0.7, but I usually go between 0.7 to 0.8, anywhere in there. I also run higher ADS sensitivities on snipers and stuff because lower ADS sensitivities is just too slow to keep up with your opponent since your scope is so zoomed in. And I feel like around here, definitely with a sniper, is definitely pretty good. The aim response curve type, definitely Black Ops. Black Ops has the strongest target assist pull out of all of them. Default's pretty solid, but Black Ops is way stronger. Precision and focusing only slow down when you're on the opponent rather than near. Default and Black Ops slow down when you're near them. Honestly, Black Ops is just the best to go. Strongest target assist pull, and it slows down before you get to the opponents, which allows you to be more accurate. For the gameplay section, for auto sprint, I have on auto tac sprint. I want my controller to last longer, and I don't want it to have stick drift, so that's why I run auto tac sprint. You guys don't have to have this on, but I like auto tac sprint because it allows me to just constantly run without having to press down on my analog. And like I said, I don't want stick drift, and also pressing down on the analog can throw you off a little bit if it comes to accuracy. If you like press it down and someone hits the corner at the same time, then you kind of have to release the pressure and line your shot up, and it can get you killed. So auto tac sprint, definitely the way to go for me, but you guys can do whatever. Slide, maintain, sprint. Turn this on, most definitely. It allows you to keep your momentum when you're sliding and sprinting. So rather than slowing down your momentum at the end of a slide and then you have to reactivate your sprint again or whatever, this makes it to where you don't have to do that. So the moment you slide and get out of the slide, it keeps your momentum. You're definitely going to want this on if you're running auto sprint. Auto airborne mantle. This had an issue where I actually had it on and forgot I had it on before I turned to auto tac sprint. If you have auto airborne mantle on with auto tac sprint, your character will spaz the hell out when you try to mantle, bruh. What you guys probably seen in my Warzone video, first time ever playing Warzone, when I tried to climb up and my character was just glitching the hell out. That was because the auto airborne mantle was on, and every time I was using my analog forward, it was counting it as me trying to sprint. So it would cancel my grab and sprint, and they would just go back and forth, spamming one another because it's trying to make me auto grab on, and it's also making me auto sprint. So my character was just spazzing the hell out, and he was just vibrating the entire time, and I couldn't mantle worth a damn, bruh. So do not have this on when you have auto tac sprint on, bruh. You will see, it was just, boy, it had me hot, and I didn't even know why I was doing that, but now I know. I didn't touch any of this. I don't know if slide behavior is on tap to slide. If it's not, turn it tap to slide. You definitely don't want it on hold. Ledge climbing behavior. This is an interesting one that I wanted to test out because it says movement based makes it to where my character will automatically like climb up rather than hanging when I'm moving my analog forward. So in other words, instead of hanging and you have to like press grab again to go over, it just makes you climb over if you keep your analog forward, supposedly what it's saying. And if that's the case, I might go movement based rather than mantle to where I have to press again. So I'm actually going to change this, test it out, and let you know down in the comments. Or if you guys are already using this or you tested it out, let me know down in the comments and let everyone else know down in the comments to help us out. For the interact/reload behavior, you can run tap to reload or prioritize reload. I don't know what's going on with prioritize reload. A lot of the times I feel like it's just not working, so that's why I just don't run it, because it's supposed to let you tap to reload if your gun has no bullets or it's not max clip. And if it's max clip and if you tap, it would open a door. But a lot of times my gun would be completely full and I would tap to interact with like a door or something and it wouldn't open it. I would have to hold X to open it, which you guys see. It says tap to reload and interact, and it prioritizes reload. If I don't have a full clip, it'll reload instead of interact. But if I do have a full clip, it will just interact. But I don't know, it wasn't working for me. I don't know what the hell's going on. But if you guys are playing Warzone, you're definitely gonna want prioritize interact on, because it allows you to tap to pick up things rather than hold to pick up things. And you definitely don't want to be standing out in the open trying to hold X to pick up a gun. So definitely prioritize interacts, definitely the way you want to go. Or you can go even tap interact. It's up to you. Armor plate behavior, definitely have this on apply all if you're playing Warzone. Instead of having to constantly press your button over and over again for each armor plate, it just makes it to where you have to tap it once and it'll put all the armor plates on that you need to be full armor. For the graphics, I forgot to mention I play on Xbox Series X. If you guys are looking for like those advanced PC stuff, I ain't got it because I'm on console, so you're gonna have to look at another video or whatever. But you definitely gonna want your motion blurs off. All it does is blur your screen, makes it harder to see. There's no point in keeping them on. All it does is just affect your ability to see, and it also can affect your accuracy, which just makes it to where you're put at a disadvantage, honestly. The depth of field makes it to where you kind of have like tunnel vision, to where, you know how your eyes work when you're focused on something, everything else blurs around it? That's practically what depth of field is. Turn that off. You're definitely going to want your screen to be more focused when enemies are like out of your aim sight. You're going to want to see them perfectly fine. You're not going to want them blurred out practically. For the FX cast, turn this on. I have it on 100. You guys can have it on 100 or lower. It's all up to you. All it does is increase your sharpness. That's why I have it on 100. I just want my stuff more crisp, and it also looks better for recording as well. I have 120 hertz on. I play on 1440, 120 hertz on my Xbox Series X. Just in case you guys didn't know. If you guys have the ability to go 120 hertz, definitely go 120. It just makes it to where you have more frames, and it's just better overall, honestly. It just has faster pixels practically. Field of view, I run 120. You can run anywhere between 100 to 120, but I like 120 because it makes my screen completely zoomed, and it gives me more screen / more picture, which allows me to see more. As you guys can see in the photo, the more FOV, the wider your screen practically. FOV third person max, of course. Camera shake, turn this to 50 because that's the lowest you can go. This makes it to where your screen doesn't shake as much. Inverted flashbang, definitely turn this on. People are some turds and they constantly spamming tacticals. A lot of people just don't know how to push in a one-on-one gunfight to save their lives, and they just spam tacticals on repeat. Like, you literally spawn in stunned, bro. Like, literally, it's infuriating, honestly. Definitely when you're on small maps, you spawn in already stunned. Like, how do you spawn in stunned? Honestly, they should have spawn protection. The same way they have spawn protection with explosives, there should be spawn protection with tacticals, bro. I should not be spawning in already flashbanged or concussioned or hit by a gas grenade or whatever it is, bro. But honestly, you're gonna want this on due to how many times people will just spam tacticals. I promise you, people spawn in, hit you with 2 flashbangs the moment they spawn in. And bro, it's just bad, bro. Just turn it on. You definitely don't want your eyesight getting worse. I didn't touch any of this, so let's go to the next section. For audio, run headphone boost based. It just optimizes certain audios to where you have like better abilities to hear sound of footsteps in like certain directions where they're coming from and things like that. So just headphone based, just the best way to go if you guys want more precise sounds practically. For the master volume, I have it on 100. Game music, you could turn this to 0. All it is just a game music in the background. You definitely don't want this up. Dialogue, I have it at 70 because I want it loud enough to where I can hear the characters' callouts, but I don't want it loud enough to where it overshadows audio. In other words, like explosives or footsteps. So that's why I have it at 70. High enough to hear, but not higher than the footstep audio. The effects volume, I have it at 90. You can keep it at 100. It's all up to you. All these other two are just music as well. You can turn them down to 0. It doesn't matter. Voice chat, I have it on 56 because I like to capture people's voices in my gameplay. For, of course, content. You guys don't have to have it that loud. You can go higher or lower. It's all up to you. Voice chat, of course, you want on. Proximity chat, you definitely want on if you want to hear people, definitely for content creation. Voice chat output device, you're going to want this on speakers if you're a content creator and you want to pick up people's voices in game chat. If you have this on headphones, you're not picking up people's voices unless you do like something in your console settings to change. Because at the start of this game, speakers was completely busted and it wouldn't let me change it. Or was that Modern Warfare 2? I don't know. It was Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 where the speakers was busted. Every time you clicked on speakers, it would just completely remove voice chat output device entirely and would have nothing clicked. So I had to have on headset and I had to go to my Xbox settings to change all that to capture people's voices in game chat. But now that speakers is working, you don't have to do all that. Just turn on speakers if you want to capture people's voices in your recordings. I didn't touch any of this, so that's the end of audio. You guys can change a hit marker sound effect if you want to Modern Warfare or whatever, but I just have on classic. Either way, it doesn't really matter. For interface, you kind of want to customize your colors to what you feel most comfortable with or what stands out the most for you. You can also change the squad member colors when it comes to like Warzone and stuff as well. You can change this. I haven't changed it yet. I probably will, but this just makes it easier to stand out and easier for you to understand based on what colors you choose. Minimap, square. I don't know if it starts on square. I'm pretty sure it does. The square just gives you more map. Minimap rotation, I have this on. You can have it off. It doesn't really make a difference. All it does is turn the map when you turn practically. The horizontal compass, you're definitely going to want this on for Warzone for better callouts. I have it off because I do a lot of screenshots and stuff like that. And honestly, I just forgot to turn it back on. Crosshairs on, you want to see where you're aiming. Hit markers on, of course, you want to know if you're landing your shots. Honestly, I didn't touch anything else besides latency. It just lets me know when I'm lagging. You can turn on connection meter also to help you. Everything else I didn't touch. But yeah, that's the end of the settings. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Also, I forgot to show you guys what I have on my quick settings. Since I changed my interact a lot, since I go from Warzone to multiplayer, I definitely want this as my favorite so I can instantly change it from tap to reload to prioritize interact when I go back and forth between multiplayer and Warzone, since I just got into Warzone. If you guys want to see some more of that, let me know down in the comments. All these things, honestly, the quick fix, you just want to save what you deem as most important or what you change most often, practically, so you don't have to go through the settings and search for them. Long story short. But yeah, anyways, let me know guys' thoughts down in the comments about these settings and what video do you guys want to see me post up on next. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to slap on the post notifications so you miss the latest and greatest videos. And I'll see you later, guys. Peace.